Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa on a Monday. You all know I'm not a fan of Mondays. Okay. My name is Wale Scott. Welcome on the show. And you came into the office practically grinning. And it was annoying me. Because you were grinning at the fact that I told you Super Eagles might lose that game. And you were right, yes, but it was the grin that was annoying me. Really.
Well, I feel like...
And I still grin itself.
I'm not taking pleasure in Nigeria being dumped out of the AFCON. I'm not taking pleasure in people's hopes being dashed. But we've been here before. Every time we relax and decide that this Nigerian team isn't going to do for us what we hope, then they start beating teams that they ought to lose to. And then when we start reveling in the joy of, oh, Nigeria, the Super Eagles might do it this time around. The Super Eagles might go all the way. Once we start thinking, oh, the next match they're playing is against a team they ought to beat, that's when they lose.
Okay, I don't have to read this story anymore. I don't have to read it anymore because I'm going to be reading the same thing we spoke about. However, I remember vividly France 98, when Nigeria was supposed to meet Denmark. And then in the quarterfinals, we would meet Brazil. And someone said, a sports presenter, may his soul continue to rest, Deji Tinubu, said on TV and said, Nigeria will become complacent. They will look towards playing Brazil. They will look at, we've overtaken Denmark. And they beat us silly. It was a 4-0 game. And I think because of the hype, Super Eagles tend to believe the hype all the time. You know, they became complacent. It's Tunisia. Everybody say we will win. We're looking towards the quarterfinals now, and
it's the luxury of being fans that affords us the right to daydream about possible silverware. But the team itself, the players in the locker room, the dressing room, they are the ones who are supposed to keep a good head on their shoulders, stay focused, and do the necessary. This game went all the way down to the wire, and Tunisia stole the match. And that has happened in every game where you think a big dog is supposed to chew out a small dog, and the small dog just makes it too difficult to be broken down.
My point is technically, let me eat the humble pie this morning. Technically, Eguavoin is 0 because the guys came to work armed, and Tunisians knew what they were coming to do. And I was looking at Eguavoin and wondering when the game started. Because unfortunately for me, I watched the game alone in my room. So it was just me shouting and crying and shouting and, and all that. And it got to a point where I was wondering, why did Eguavoin put Moses Simon? Everybody in the Nations Cup, even the guys who are out, know that Moses Simon is a problem of any defense. Why not put Iwobi from the beginning, if you had to use him at the beginning, to be a decoy? Because Iwobi will cause the same kind of problems that Simon would cause. And then he brought Iwobi in a little too late, and then he gets a red card. And the game ended. I would have preferred him bringing in somebody who has space. Yes, he's getting old, but like Ahmed Musa, who can still run.
Don't forget that.
The defense could be outrun.
Okay, so here's my thinking. Any manager who's anticipating that you're playing a team that is not on your level, and you're anticipating for more...
You are looking ahead.
You're looking ahead. Because a manager needs to both play in the present and manage for the future. And as such, you manage the resources available to you, taking stock of all of your responsibilities. Unfortunately, every manager, no matter how good, makes personnel errors. Pep Guardiola did it in the Champions League last season. Zidane was criticized a couple of times, even though he ended up going all the way and winning 3 Champions League titles back to back. Every manager does it. Sometimes you anticipate that I have a strong enough team. I put this one player who is capable of playing in that position. As long as everybody else does their job, we're going to beat this team because we're meant to beat them. And the tactical setup is just right. Unfortunately, sometimes people go insane on the pitch, and Iwobi gets a red card. So I don't know if I would blame the manager. I think at the end of the day, the players are the ones who should take maximum responsibility.
The coach takes it.
Yes, but ordinarily we always blame the general, but the general is never on the pitch.
True.
He's never on the field of battle. It's the warriors themselves who have
to be. Well, let's move forward before I go to the next 10. Nigerians have consistently clamored when they watched Nigeria play against Egypt and said, we don't need a Pesero anymore. We already have Cerezo. That's Eguavon's nickname. But technically, Eguavon has proven to us now that technically he is not there yet. And we can't see him taking us to the World Cup. He can't beat Tunisia technically.
I think we're jumping the gun. The same way we jumped the gun with saying, oh, he beat Egypt, so he should get the job. Now we're jumping the gun because he has lost one game. He qualified out of the group.
Most Nigerians are saying that Eguavon didn't lose that game because the boys were not good enough. It's not because that team cannot actually win the Nations Cup, all things being equal. But the Tunisian team were more technical. Their bench were more technical. They came to work more armed than we were.
And yet, I would beg the question that we're just a few months out from the World Cup. The World Cup group stages. We still have a lot to do in March. And fine, it all seems well and dandy, but this is not club football where you can expect that a new manager is going to change things between now and November.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Whereas Eguavon has the respect of the players. I'm not saying he should get the job, but these are things that should be considered. He has the respect of the players. He knows the pedigree that they bring to the table. He understands the philosophy of times past in the national team spirit. He understands whether these players are capable of delivering that high technical game that the rest of the world is playing now. Pesaro might come in and try to implement what he sees. Don't forget, there are two types of managers. The ones who try to fit players into their tactical setup, and the ones who manage and use flexibility and adapt their tactical setup to the players that they have.
Mannarino is a specialist in that.
Yes. Unfortunately, AVB, Andres Villas-Boas, couldn't do that with Chelsea, and he still failed to do it at Tottenham. A lot of us are thinking, a lot of people now who have given up on Eguavon are thinking the new manager is going to be the one, but we don't know what he's going to be able to do with this crop of players.
And with that little time.
Now,
Mayowa, our very own Mayowa here, thank you very much, sends me a breaking news. And he says, former UFC fighter Makwi Falcao has been stabbed to death. He was stabbed to death early this morning. So you get more of that report with Bukayo later on the news. Okay, and thank you, Mayowa. Well, enough of that. Somebody told me that there is no way, even if it happens 10 times in 10 days, Chelsea will always beat Tottenham. That is just their birthright. Like, even if it's 10 times in 10 days, Chelsea will still beat Tottenham. And it's always been happening for years now.
Yes, I mean, Tottenham have beaten us in recent memory, but not often enough to make up for the history of regular losses. Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing is they are both in London.
Yeah, both in London. Both teams set up oftentimes with three at the back, two wingers and two wing backs and no real wingers. Ultimately, Tottenham are in this position right now where they can beat all the mid-table teams and even the lower-table teams, but they're not yet able to beat the top teams, and personnel might help them come summertime if they can bring in a few new faces. But Chelsea, we know that in the last 6 games, they've drawn 4. They lost their last one, so they've not really been doing too well. But Tottenham is always, especially when Chelsea are playing at home, it's always a team that they should be playing and winning. Fact is, Chelsea is not Tottenham's mates.
Okay, let's look at Saturday's matches. Man U got a 92nd minute goal, Marcus Rashford against West Ham.
I watched that game.
A Falcao assist.
Yes.
I said Falcao.
Tellez, or I think it was
Cavani.
Yes, it was Cavani.
Edison Cavani.
It was a Cavani. That game was strange. I expected a couple goals earlier in the game. Unfortunately, it took bringing on 3 new faces in attack just to get the job done. Ronaldo this time around got to stay on the pitch, and he actually contributed to the play that led to the goal. It was a tight call though, because VAR could have easily called it offside, but Cavani just was onside to get the cross across.
Okay, and this really made my day. I'm not trying to farm the rich man. I'm I'm only saying I'm happy that Newcastle got that win against Leeds United. And they were away.
Yes.
I'm not fancying the rich guys, but at least.
But Newcastle needed the win. Leeds United are obviously not as high up the table as they were last season. They've tailed off a bit, but it doesn't mean that they're working any less.
As it is now, I think Newcastle, yes, they've got the money there. If they will do anything, it's going to be next season or during the
They just need to survive this season.
The drop.
Yes.
And then next season they buy players.
I think what we're expecting right now is that Watford will go down, Norwich will go down, and even Everton could end up going down.
Yes, because what happened with Everton? They were at home, and then Aston Villa comes visiting and they take the win away.
Yes, Everton are in disarray right now, which is strange because just last season they were doing so well under Ancelotti. Then they made the grave error of going for Benitez, and now they don't even have they can't even recruit the right big name to get them out of the situation they're in right now. I've heard that they're trying to get in Belgium manager, current coach.
Yeah.
And even rumors about bringing in Wayne Rooney.
Yes, Wayne Rooney told them that right now Derby needs him too much, and that leaving them now will be like an ungrateful person.
Possibly that's true, but at the same time, considerations of whether he's strong enough as a manager right now to be helping a team battle relegation.
Do you know the caliber of coaches that are in England right now? You're talking of coaches like Tuchel, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, and Ralph Rangnick.
And the question has to be asked, is the season too far gone right now for an Everton who seems to have no way of gaining a win from anywhere to recruit a new manager who is capable of keeping them above? I mean, it's crazier things have happened. Wigan used to do it anyhow, all the time. Somehow. Which makes sense, which is why they want to go get the Belgium coach right now. But Everton, you have to look at form. It's like they're descending with no way of clutching at a break and stopping their fall. And I don't know if a new manager at this late stage will make a difference.
Now, Rafael Nadal remained on course for a men's record 21st Grand Slam title after winning the battle of left-handers against Andrea Mannarino 7-6, 1-4, 6-2, 6-2 to reach the quarterfinals of the Australian Open on Sunday. The only former champion left in the men's draw, 2009 winner, Nadal is tied on 20 majors with injured Roger Federer and 9-time Melbourne Park winner Novak Djokovic, who was deported from Australia before the tournament began. Mannarino had lost both his previous meetings against Nadal and came into the contest after a demanding third-round victory over Russian Aslan Karastev in a match that lasted 4 hours and 39 minutes. The former world number one will next meet another left-hander in Denis Shapovalov of Canada for a place in the semi-finals. If you play table tennis and you've ever really played tennis, lawn tennis, you would agree that it's always harder, I don't know why, to play left-handers. I don't know why.
Yes, because I think the left-handers are matching you as a right-handed player. You know that when you hit the ball this way, most of the time you're going this way. You have to adjust your body to hit it that way. And the left-hander...
And it's always harder when the last match you had was against a right-hander, and then the next one is a left-hander. It confuses you at the point.
Yes, but if you're hitting this way and the left-hander is already waiting this way for you, he can generate as much power with his backhand as you would if the ball was coming at you on your right, on your left. Apologies. And if the ball is going towards him on his left, on your right, he can still generate as much power as he would if he was going with his left hand.
True.
With his backhand. So really, the problem is that it's like playing against a mirror image of yourself.
Exactly. Oh wow. So we have Nadal just beat a left-handed person, Mannarino. He's going to meet another left-handed person against Shapovalov, and it just might be a left-hander's win.
Yes.
In the Open. Home hero Ashley Barty will play an Australian Open quarterfinal for the 4th straight year after defeating emerging talent Amanda Anisimova 6-4, 6-3 in Melbourne on Sunday. The world number one was able to handle a spirited challenge from the American, proving the steadier player on key points through the 74 minutes contest at a Rod Laver Arena. Although Barty had a stunning streak of 63 straight service holes broken, our ability to absorb power of a 20-year-old rival and draw errors proved critical. Barty praised Anisimova, who she defeated in the semi-final at Roland Garros in 2019 on the way to winning the French Open. Ashley Barty, number one, she's playing in Australia. She has the home fans behind her, and could this just be a chance to actually make it happen?
Yes.
On home soil.
Yes, on home soil. This, I mean, who knows what she's thinking?
She looks all fired up, though.
She does. There's a lot of energy, and she's coming off a great year last year, and a lot of momentum can help you power all the way to the end. So, and when you're at home, I know there can be pressures, but home crowd support can also have its advantages. And this year specifically, I think the Australian Open, trying to get back to normal, all of the distractions that Djokovic's situation caused, everyone is just amped up for the tennis right now.
Yeah.
They want to get back to status quo, and I think a lot of that can feed into the crowd energy. Of course, they're willing for anyone to come in and do their best, but they want Ash Barty to do even better than they.
I will leave you with the NBA today on the show. Darius Garland and the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 94-87 on Sunday. Thank you very much, Mukail.
Of course.
Thank you very much, Tayo, behind the cameras. Thank you very much, Dayo, D1 in the House of Power downstairs. Thank you, Onoja. Thank you, Kay. For Mosala is here, thank you. You always have my back. Okay, I'll leave you with the NBA. My name is Wally Scott. Like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.